And we're back. It's 1:35 a.m. Wednesday, July 23rd, year of our Lord 2025. I'm Lean Bear in lovely scenic Padre City, South Korea, with a new mastering chain that I am putting together in Reaper, the digital audio workstation to which I am in the process of migrating from Cakewalk by BandLab. I'm trying to more or less complete the migration by beginning of August. Can't sleep tonight. I got allergies. Been waiting for the allergy medicine to kick in. I'm powerfully annoyed by the constant itching in the back of the sinuses and the sneezing and the rapidly accruing pile of snot rags. I'll try not to disgust you with my nose blowing. I'll mute the mic. All right. Anyways, I listed the mastering chain in the stream description, but well, here it is. It's not complete yet. Hang on. Right here. Still learning this UI. All right. So far we got Airwindows PurestGain set to minus 2.51. Why? Well, because two things. We've got TDR Nova here, the four band dynamic EQ with a boost around 300 at 3.3 dB, another boost around 3000 at 2 dB, and well, a slight cut around 15,000. Although it really begins around 10,000, but it's minus 2 dB at 15,000. So this is going to add some amplitude, thereby necessitating a gain cut, and then, but much more so, Klanghelm IVGI2, which is a harmonic distortion saturation plugin, which is adding quite a bit more gain. But I'm finding it's worth it. So these two necessitate a gain cut, a very clear, transparent gain cut, hence Airwindows PurestGain, at the beginning of the chain at minus 2.51. And then next to the chain is going to be Voxengo SPAN, and then Airwindows Meter, Youlean Loudness meter, and there's also Airwindows Air4, which I haven't put in yet. I'm going to show you why I put it in. first, I'm going to show you now why am I putting SPAN in here. I am adding harmonic distortion. I'm adding gain in certain frequencies, and I want to make sure that this is not causing mid-side problems where formerly there were none, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add the spectrum analyzer, Voxengo SPAN, and set it up for mid-side reading. So here in now I'm in Reaper. I'm still learning my way around this GUI, but it's going reasonably well. Okay, so right-click. You're in the white field, Add Effects, and it's going to be under VST, not VST3, VST, and this is quite different from Cakewalk, but I'm getting used to it. All right, so I have to look it up by name. Where is it? VST SPAN, right there. SPAN, Voxengo. And I'm going to put it right after the Klanghelm. And all right, so that's the spectrum analyzer. It's showing frequency amplitude by frequency from subs all the way up to 20K high trebles. And to get this to show a mid-side reading, I go to routing and mid-side stereo, and then I click on underlay and click side, and the lighter green is my side stereo information image. The darker green is my mid mono image. Okay. And of course, I can adjust the granularity of that. Clicking the gear icon and block size, I generally set that to like 1024. Let's see, there's a way you could do it with, let's see, filled display. Let's see, second spectrum. There's a way to, let me see, underlay. I forget how it's done. There is a, way to kind of smooth out, make it not so frequency specific for both the mid and the side. I forget exactly how to do it. I'm not in the mood to mess around with it right now, so excuse me. All right. Anyway, I'll check this later, but I'm going to have it in the chain just to make sure that I'm not messing up my mid sides with what I'm doing here. And then, okay, I'm going to add Airwindows Air4 here in a minute, after I show you the reason for adding it. First, I'm going to turn off the gain cut, and I'm going to turn off TDR Nova, and I'm going to turn off Klanghelm. And now I have the track as mixed down in Cakewalk. And there's a couple of things that continue to bother me about it. It's still excessively bright as measured by in meter. Let me just pop that out. Once again, there's a bright sonority and dark readings. And so excessive brightness, peaking around 85% in the outro, and getting up to around, 55%, or I think it was 55%. Around the end of the first verse and first interlude solo. And so, nice clarity, but just a little bit excessively bright, and a bit thin, and a bit lacking in oomph, a little bit lacking in power, punch. I toyed around with both Nova and the Klanghelm saturator in the 2-bus in Cakewalk, but I just couldn't. I got a lot going on in that mix bus, and I just couldn't find a way to get these two to play nice with everything else that was going on in there. And so I thought it might be worth a shot to just do the best I could with what was in that master bus, and then load the mix down into Reaper and give these tools a go with the mix down, and just see how it went. And so far, I can say I think I'm pleased with the results. Of course, I'm not in the clearest state of mind right now with the allergies and being unable to sleep and all that. But so, once again, putting this out there in case anybody ever finds it, to whom it might be useful, and also for my own record. So first, I'm not going to play and there are a couple of other things I have to go back and fix in the mix. Just a couple of little things. There's a synth part that comes in about midway, that a little bit before midway. Sounds nice, sounds good. It's producing some pulses, some ticks that are unpleasantly reminiscent of like a click track metronome. Not steadily, but just here and there, these little ticks that are reminiscent of a DAW metronome, which is easily corrected. And the final part of the vocal performance is I sang it out of tune. I need to go back and track that again. But anyway, I'm going to play this. Before adding the new tools, TDR Nova and Klanghelm IVGI2. Up through the first interlude solo, and then I'm going to stop and go back to the beginning and turn those tools on along with the gain cut, and play it back, and just let it play to the end. So watch the bright levels as I play it through the first time. And just take my word for it that by the outro section, bright peaks at around 85%, which is just excessive in my opinion. So here we go. Let's see. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so I got as high as like 59% bright, right? And so now I'm going to turn on these tools here. And first, again, there's Nova with these adjustments here. It's dynamic EQ, right? And so you can see it working. You might notice that the snare is a bit more present, the kick fuller, the bass part more present. That's what that's the adjustment that I decided on for the time being anyway. And then here's the Klanghelm, which is very nice. It's a very nice plug-in. the asymmetrical mix set to 7, and the response set to toward the high frequency side. And what this is doing is, so the Nova adjustments are bringing out some of the high bass and low mids, and yeah, some of the mids with a little bit slight attenuation in the air frequencies. But this saturator is making up for some of that loss of detail without driving up bright in meter, which is very nice. I'm surprised at how I thought it would probably work, but it really turned out better than I could reasonably have expected. So, right, that's what we got going on here, and then of course the gain cut at the beginning to compensate. And now I'm going to start playback in meter, and I want you to notice something right along the bottom of this this horizontal band here. Right here it says overslew, and I'm just going to hit playback, and I want you to notice these just little, they're not excessive, they're not, it's not too bad, but just little red spikes that appear here. See them? Now, nothing, really nothing to be worried about. It's something called overslew, treble overslew, and it's something that we just want eliminated. And it doesn't really take much to filter those out. It comes in the form of Airwindows Air4. Excuse me. Okay, I thought I was going to have a sneeze, but passed. All right. All right. So right click, add effects, and EST3, Airwindows consolidated, add. That's going to go right before meter, and it's under brightness, Air4. I had to take this knob called ratio and set it at 1. And that's going to eliminate those little overslew spikes. It's not something that you can consciously notice, but those spikes, they represent frequencies that can cause fatigue in the listener. Excuse me for a second. Okay, so all right, now all right, I've already checked my my LUFS reading. Is fine. It comes out, it ends up at -14.1. So I don't need to run that. I might as well run SPAN, and just see what that's looking like. Make sure there's no issues, and also, you know, I want to make sure I've got a pretty good balance, good frequency distribution. Let's see if I can get these. That's good right there. All right, so this time I'm just going to let it play to the end. And away we go. Okay, so bright peaking at 63 as opposed to 85, which is, well, it takes care of the problem. 63 is still a little bit on the excessive side, but I don't hear a problem. And so overall, I just think it's, I got some of that power back, some of that punch back. The kick, the snare, the bass are they have more presence. Again, more punch, and I got the brightness down without sacrificing clarity of detail. So, and overall, I think just a richer, smoother, warmer sound overall, and I'm quite pleased with how this new mastering chain is working out. I think with a little bit of practice, I'm just little things that have been bothering me about. Although I think I've made some decent progress in the last few weeks. More or less established a benchmark for the album. Just little misgivings that I've had. There's still a little bit of coldness, but yeah, kind of a digital coldness that has continued to bother me. I think this new mastering chain is going to help me sort that out and just massage things and balance them into a warmer, more organic, and overall more pleasant listening experience. So that's it. That's the new mastering chain, and I don't have any other ideas, anything else to add. Nor do I want them. I'd like to keep it as simple as possible. So, I mean, well, 7 plugins, but 3 of them are. This one doesn't do anything that you can hear. It's just a very, very, very subtle filter. These 2 are just meters. That's a gain cut. So, well, that's a meter too. So just these 2, really. These 2 are doing all the tone shaping. And the peak distribution is also looking very nice in meter. The lines are tracking well the way I like them. And yeah, so it's all good. I'm going to export this now and give it a listen through all my different devices, maybe even take it down to the car, because still I think the medicine is finally starting to take hold, but the drowsiness that I'm supposed to be getting from it hasn't started to kick in. So who knows? I may be back for another stream. Okay, so that's it from lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea, with a new mastering chain in Reaper. God bless and keep you. Lean Bear over and out.